name is V from Intertu Education, and welcome again to our video on how to analyze a poem. Our number 6 step will be to identify poetic devices. Some poetic devices may include voice, diction, figures of speech, symbolism, rhetorical questions. Some of the most important figures of speech that you usually see in any poem can be metaphor, simile, assonance, consonance, etc. So look at this poem. We have two poetic devices, imagery and simile. So the first one, simile. The simile reinforces a sense of loneliness and isolation. But the image of clowns also suggests that the speaker seems free and tranquil, untouched by the earthly pleasures. Through this second one, visual imagery, it appears a huge number of mesmerizing daffodils, breaking the isolated moment, yet sparking joy for the speaker. Alright, on to the next one, step 7, rewrite the poem. So this one is a step you can take in the class when you have time to analyze the poem. So you rewrite the poem in your own words to become familiar with the poet's figurative language and to figure out some kind of idea of the poem. In this poem, we can see that the speaker wanders around and all of a sudden he sees a beautiful garden of daffodils moving idyllically in the breeze. Step 8. Identify theme. The theme of the poem is the message that the poet is trying to convey, and it will often relate to a bigger idea or a universal truth. In this poem, I wander lonely as a clown. The theme can be the love of nature. Nature is a sanitary, a shelter that comforts human sorrow and eases our reoccupation. Let's make to number 9. Make questions. We make questions to see if the poem fully addresses everything that we are curious. You can even make silly questions because it helps you to connect with the themes in the writer. Some suggested questions here are: what makes the speaker lonely? Why did the writer choose to talk about nature and loneliness? Now let's come to the last step, number 10. Express your opinion. How do you feel about the poem? Do you like it or not? Is there any good point, bad point that you would like to talk about? From a perspective, this poem paints an epiphany when nature meets human soul. I love its poetic vibe and gentle atmosphere. I wish it can introduce more about how perfectly splendid the daffodils are and whether human loneliness can be warded off just by the presence of those flowers. That's all for and that's also all of the steps I want you guys to take when you analyze a poem. I would say in class, because if you analyze a poem in the exam room, you need to focus on some steps more than the other. However, I hope that you can get some idea about how to analyze a poem and practices in your study of English literature. That's it, and see you next time.